Hi, my name's Ryan Gibbs. I farm in northeast Iowa, Delaware County, just north of Hopkinton, with my wife Christy and our two kids, Kendrick, who's 3, and Colette, who's just over a year.
I'm Josh Bierbaum. I live in Griswold, Iowa, in Cass County. I live here with my wife, Logan. We grow corn and soybeans. This is where I grew up with my brother and my sister as well. We've lived here our whole life.
I'm Matthew Burt. I'm a 6th-generation farmer here in Marshall County. I live here at the family farm in the house that I grew up in with my wife Karen and my daughter Rachel. On our farm, we raise corn, soybeans, contract finish hogs, and we have some cattle as well.
So this is the family farm that we recently moved to, that my parents bought back in 1988. We raise corn, soybeans, cereal rye, buckwheat. We got a hog building. We also do some pasture-raised pigs, and then we got some pasture-raised feeder cattle that we rotational graze.
In April of 2022, I had the opportunity to come back to the farm full-time to be with my brother and dad, and all 3 of us farm. So this is our family heritage farm, 150 years with the Bierbaum family.
After college, I worked for a co-op and realized, hey, I wanted to be back on the farm. So I kind of told my dad, I don't care what I have to do, I'm gonna work on the farm. And it's grown from there. Now I'm making more and more management decisions on the whole farm and the hog barn that I own.
When I was growing up, the community helped through sports and activities and church and 4-H. So when you grow up, you just think about how much the community gave back to you. So you want to be a part of that for the younger generation. I am actually a part of the Griswold Ag Boosters Association. It helps assist the Griswold FFA chapter and activities they have throughout the year.
A lot of activities that our county does throughout the year with our farm to table event, talking to 4th graders in the county about agriculture. I do a thing about tractor safety. I was just at GMG Elementary talking to 3rd through 6th graders about what I do on the farm.
I am involved with the Maquoketa Valley FFA. They're renting a small field, I believe it's 20 acres. They planted wheat there the previous year. They end up getting rid of the wheat and they're like, we need to plant something here. Tell you what, I said, I got cover crop seed. I said, I'll donate some seed to you guys. Plant some cereal rye. Now this year we're gonna harvest that in July. I'll buy the seed off of them and that'll get sold to customers for cover crop seed.
With Ag Leaders, I was able to go out to Washington, D.C. I was also able to go out with the national policy trip, and I think it's going out and trying to show why we do it. I mean, I built my hog barn because I wanted to create an opportunity for my family. I wanted to find my role in the farm, and a hog barn was a way that I could farm full-time.
I went on the policy trip with Ag Leaders to Washington, D.C. in March of 2022. I was able to go on the policy trip again to represent Cass County. It's just really important to represent Farm Bureau's image, and more specifically, my own image of the family farm.
So I've been really happy with my experiences with the Farm Bureau, just being able to go down to Washington, D.C. and to go to the Young Farmer Conference and to network with all these great people, share experiences and learn from them.
Between young farmers and ag leaders, that's pretty much where I've gained my friends and connections through Farm Bureau. I talk with other young farmers at the Young Farmer Conference and realize that my challenges are not unique.
You want to be open and honest about everything that's happening, and I love to show off what we've done on our family farm. And recently, in probably the late 90s, early 2000s, we went complete no-till, and we've been that way ever since.
I think one thing that makes farmers unique is that we're always striving to do better. I was able to test strip tillage on just over 200 acres this year, and I'm really excited to see how I could use that as a tool going forward.
I started renting this ground. It flooded every year. I had corn up to the tassel in water, like the ears were submerged in water. So we started transitioning the ground over 2 years into all cover crops and no-till. And then that led to, no, let's plant some rye too, and then some buckwheat. So now we got, all these crops growing. And I'm noticing farmers upstream from me doing a lot more conservation practices. Now I look at, we get a 4-inch rain and the creek might go up, but it's not coming out of the banks like it used to.
We implemented cover crops about 6-7 years ago probably. We've always had headlands and terraces and waterways. Several years ago, we also applied cover crops and buffer strips along creeks.
It was really fascinating to me when I learned that I could make my own worm poop, you could call it. It's called vermicompost. And we are putting it on with the planter in furrow. And it's full of living microbes that help the soil function and help the plant become healthy.
We have a lot of grass waterways and CRP. We're also using variable rate fertilizer. We're able to put it where it needs it and not where it doesn't.
As a recipient of the award, I have decided to donate that grant money to the Maquoketa Valley FFA, where they are going to use the funds to put in a hydroponic system to grow vegetables for the school. The students can grow it and then they can also consume it. When school's not in session, there is a local business in town that they will be bringing that to sell it. Gives them the experience of not only growing something but selling it as well.
My wife Logan and I both grew up in 4-H, so we decided to donate to the Cass County 4-H Vision Endowment. That money goes towards sponsoring day camps for 4-Hers, any trips they may want to take or have the opportunity to take and sign up for, and then it also can cover future membership fees that 4-H has.
With the grant money that I received through this award, I wanted to donate it to Seeds of Hope. Seeds of Hope was started through Justine Brink, formerly Justine Stevenson, to honor her husband, Chasm Stevenson. I had the opportunity to raise money for him when he was going through his cancer treatment back in 2017 through a bike ride that I was able to do. And what their mission is to help families that are going through tough times with a long-term illness or other hardships.
So when I was out of college, I took a couple different jobs throughout the years before I was able to come to the family farm. And I traveled throughout the state and the Midwest, and I loved what I saw and I loved what I learned. But through that whole time, I wanted to be back at the family farm with my dad, farm with my brother. It means so much to me. My grandpa farmed this land before us, his dad before him. It's part of being that family legacy, the value that it brings to me and my wife and the future generations to come.
What brings me back to the farm is getting able to work with my dad, my mom, my brothers, my family, day in and day out, and those are the people that I want to be around, and I think that's the things that a lot of farmers enjoy.
You know, I love being able to grow it ourselves and feed ourselves with what we're producing, but also to offer that to other people as well. I hope my kids will carry that on. You know, they see it. You know, we make pancakes, and Kendrick, my son, knows that this flour was what Dad grew. That's a legacy that you can pass on. It's good to be able to feed your kids that and be like, hey, this whole meal on your plate came from the farm that you live on.
Every farm has a legacy that's more than just a job. It's more than just a business. It's a family business that's been handed down and taken care of for, on our farm, over 150 years. I can't think of anything better than being able to pass down to the next generation.